he gave promises to their forefathers and fulfilling those promises. Everybody understand? All right, so he's saying just like the Lord doing that in the spiritual realm, I'm gonna be doing the same thing. But I'm doing it in the spirit of the Most High, for the Most High, and under the power and the authority of the Most High. You with me? All right, keep going.
Verse 22. For the Father judgeth no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father.
So here's the thing, right? If you, okay, it was time past before we had the Levites, right? But if you've done something against the Most High, but the Lord would kill you, right? That's what's happening right now. Why is it like that now?
Slack, can you ask the question again, sir?
Hey, put your phone on mute. Nah, there was a time before the Levites, right? Where the Lord would judge people. In other words, I'll give you an example, like the flood. The flood was because men was marrying people from other nations. The Lord didn't like it. And all his seed that he chose and set apart was mixing with other people. So he destroyed them. That's judgment from the Lord. Right? Like we always read, the Lord is a man of war. Right? The Lord is his name. Like we talk about fire and hell that he put in his children. That's the judgment from the Lord. Right? But there was a literal judgment that he gave the Levites, where if you did something and another man or a rib or something like that, and somebody caught you doing it, now the priest can come and kill you. Right? So what Christ was saying is the Lord is giving Israel an opportunity to come back into the fold. So therefore, just like the one who was caught in the act of adultery, right? The Lord could have killed her. The priests, the Pharisees could have killed her. Right? But what Christ came for was to give Israel another opportunity to do it the right way. So what he's saying is, the Lord ain't gonna kill you right now because he's giving me an opportunity to show you some mercy. This is the grace period that the Christians take and run with all the way to hell down the street. Instead of understanding that you got it right now, right? Until you come into the knowledge of the truth. Now you know better, and now the judgment is on you. That's why I'm saying what it's saying in Hebrews. If you can go there, somebody give me that precept where it says, once you come into the knowledge of the truth. But you stay right there. So now that's what he's saying. The Father, the Most High, ain't gonna kill you right now, right? But he's giving Christ the authority to judge whether or not you and Christ came in order to give us another opportunity to do it the right way. So that's what he's basically saying. Not that the Most High ain't gonna judge you at all, but the judgment meaning like the punishment right now for what you already did. You see what I'm saying? So now, if Christ got the authority to do that, now Christ was on the scene to make it where you had another chance. He's saying that the Most High ain't gonna judge you right this minute for the things that you're doing. He's giving that authority to Yahushua. And him as being a high priest knows how to deal with you in the same manner that the Most High will deal with you. And at that point, it was with mercy. All right, so two precepts I need to go along with it. Romans chapter 9. What says he unto Pharaoh, I harden him on whom I want to harden, or I have mercy on whom I want to have mercy. You familiar with that, right? All right, and then the other one that I asked for in Hebrews, I believe it's chapter 8. If somebody got it, go ahead.
It's Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26.
Hebrews 10 and 26. Go ahead and read it. Yeah, get a brother the mic. Hebrews 10 and 26. You understand, right? All right, go ahead and read it.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 26. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin.
So now Christ was coming to be a sacrifice, meaning now instead of them judging that woman, Christ told her to go and sin no more, right? They could have cut her head off, threw rocks at her until she died. That's what the law says to do.
Right.
But Christ being the person that the Lord put in authority to judge them righteously said, none of y'all ain't worthy to throw rocks at this sister until she died, and told the sister to go no more. Now, if she go and call again, right, after she come into the knowledge of the truth, there is no more sacrifice. There is no way out of it. Now she's going to get the judgment, the original judgment that it was called for. Keep reading. Keep reading.
Verse 27, but a certain fearful looking for judgment.
You see that? Now she must be fearful and looking for judgment. Ain't no more sacrifice. Now you done got the grace and you still doing the same thing. Keep going.
And fiery indignation.
And fiery indignation.
Which shall devour the adversaries.
That shall devour those people that continue to sin after they came into the knowledge of the truth. Meaning like the saying lady. Christ is giving them one more chance to get it together. And then now you got the knowledge. Now you got to deal with the Lord. Now the Lord is going to judge you.
I got it. I understand.
Okay.
Right. I got it.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Go ahead. Let me. Go ahead.
Can I get a breakdown of Colossians 3 and 11?
All right. Colossians 3 and 11. What you got a question on it?
No, I just need a breakdown on it. Like, I'm not really understanding.
All right. Let's get it. By the way, this is Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969. We under commanding General YAHANNA, not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Alright, we down here at I.S.U.P.K, Florida. It's home of the truth down here in Florida, man. Still doing the one-on-one class until Cap get him to hold it down. Let me get the Colossians real quick, girl. And you said you didn't have a question on it.
No, sir.
You just don't understand it. What's jamming you up? Let me ask you that. What's jamming you up?
When it says, where there is neither Jew and the Greek or Jews.
You said Colossians, what chapter, what verse? Or chapter?
Verse 11.
Okay, alright, no sweat. Go ahead and start at verse 10.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 3.
Matter of fact, if you don't mind, I'm gonna get one of the brothers that's in here to read it, just so to make sure the people online can hear it. All right? You want to read it? You want to get one of the priests to read it? That's up to you.
It don't matter.
Nah. I'm gonna let one of the brothers in here do it. Go ahead. It's 3 and 10.
Book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 10. And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him, where there is neither Greek nor Jew.
Start at verse 9 real quick.
Book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 9. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on a new man, which is renewed in the knowledge after the image of him that created him.
Stop right there. All right, so lie not to one another, seeing that you have put off the old man and his deeds. Meaning, don't be the same dude you was. Like, it's like being a hypocrite. Like, you saying you one thing, but you're not really that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we coming in here, I expect none of y'all brothers to steal from me. I expect none of y'all to deal with my wife. I expect nobody in here, a sister that's in here, to not be over. I expect a certain type of behavior out of people that's in the truth. right? Lie not one to another, seeing that you have put off the old man and all the stuff that you used to do in the world. You ain't doing that no more. So I may expect maybe a brother that just coming in the door, maybe he ain't got it together yet. He don't understand brotherhood. But once you done been in here, I may expect you to hold you to a whole nother standard, right? And you have put on a new man, which is renewed in knowledge and after the image of him that's created him. We are supposed to try to imitate it. Scripture says, be ye perfect, because the Lord your God is perfect. So we try to be perfect like the Most High is perfect, like Christ was perfect, right? Have anybody else did it? Noah, Job. People was called perfect, not meaning you ain't never gonna trip, stub your toe. That means that you're going to keep and follow the law, statutes, and commandments the way that the Lord laid it down, right? Go ahead and read verse 11.
Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all.
But there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, what is that? Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all, right? What you gotta know is about, first of all, you gotta understand Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. If you understand the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom, you understand that at a point in time in the scriptures, our kingdoms are separate. It's supposed to be 12 tribes, right? But then you had 2.5 tribes that was in the land, and they were considered the Jews. Do you have a Zondervan Bible dictionary? Who is this trooper, Makazar?
Come on, sir.
You have a Zondervan Bible dictionary?
Not yet, sir.
You don't have one. All right, one of the brothers who has a Zondervan Bible dictionary, get me Jew in the Bible dictionary. Who got the money? Hand that to Shakar. You can read it. You got it, Shakar? Go ahead, read. Give me the definition of a Jew.
Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary. I don't think it's on. Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary, page 282.
Can everybody on the conference line hear, brother? All right, go ahead. Keep going.
So like page 283. Jew. Originally, it denoted one belonging to the tribe of Judah or to the 2 tribes of the southern kingdom.
You see that? A Jew in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary is originally it was for the tribe of Judah, but then it became denoted for the 2.5 tribes that was still in Israel. Keep reading.
But later, its meaning was extended, and it was applied to anyone of the Hebrew race who returned from the captivity.
So now it's saying later that it was ascribed to anybody that was of the Hebrew race and returned from the captivity. Return what?
Anyone who returned from the captivity.
Who returned from their captivity and went back. So in other words, they was adopted back into being quote unquote Jews. But at one point it only was Judah. At one point it was the 2.5 tribes that was in Israel. So when you read and you see this word Jew, when you see this word Jew, you gotta know what the context is. Somebody give me Greek. Is Greek in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary? If it's not, well, let me let y'all answer first. Anybody know what a Greek is, or what this Greek is talking about? We got what a Jew is. It's not enough. Give me Grecian. That's enough. All right, Shakar, pass him the mic. We got it. Michelle, yeah. Go ahead and give me Grecian.
Say Greece or Grecia.
Is it on?
It says Greece or Grecia or Grecians.
Grecia is Greece,
Grecia is in Greece, right? Keep going.
the home of the Hellenes.
The home of the Hellenists. Anybody know what the Hellenists is? Go ahead.
Israelites that made speaking Greek their tongue.
Well, it says that in this definition right there. We're gonna get to that. Go ahead, keep reading.
Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be disguised. Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race, etc.
Hold on, read that again. Greeks
are generally those of Hellenic race.
Greeks are those or generally of Hellenic race. Magazar, what's a Greek? Or what's a Hellen? You can answer that question the same way.
I couldn't figure it out. I was trying to understand what he was
I
saying.
repeated everything he said. He said,
Right.
Grecia is in Greece, right? But you gotta denote which Grecians you speaking of, right? Because you got the Hellenists and then you got the real Greeks. He said Grecians were, read that last part again, so I'm gonna repeat it for the people that's on the line.
Come. Says Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race.
Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race. Keep reading.
Come. E.g. Acts 16:11. It's like six.
You can skip that.
Okay, come. But the word may be used to indicate non-Jews, foreigners, and aliens.
The word can be used, this word Greeks can be used for foreigners, right? Non-Jews or aliens. It can be used for that. Keep reading.
Come. Grecians or Greek-speaking Jews.
They were what?
Greek-speaking Jews.
They were what?
Greek-speaking Jews.
Keep reading.
Folk of the dispersion.
The people of the dispersion. Keep going.
From areas predominantly Greek.
From areas that were predominantly Greek. So now it can be used for Greeks, meaning like real Greeks, foreigners, aliens, or it could be used for Greek-speaking Jews or Hellenes, right? So you gotta get the context. Remember, Jews has a context, and Greeks got a context. Now, you being a brother that's a trooper in the school, been through classes, I know you was in the class where we did the Paul breakdown, where we got the definition of diaspora. Are you familiar with that definition? Magazar, you there? A little bit. Let me read it for you real quick. We don't want a little bit. We don't want a little bit. So now we done did 3 definitions in one question in one verse. This is what you get in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge that other fake Israelites will not take the time to do for one man's question. We can't have you running around here thinking, you know what I'm saying, like a Christian, that when it says there's neither Jew nor Greek, they'll say, there it is right there. It said right there in the Bible, Christ came for everybody. There is neither Jew nor Greek. So that means the I.S.U.P.K is a lie, right? That's what it means.
No.
That's what it means, huh? It means not law. Dispersion. Somebody got it?
Diaspora?
Dispersion. Because when you look up diaspora, it says look up dispersion. That's what it said in the huh? You got diaspora?
Come.
All right, well, read diaspora from the shop. You want to read it or you
It's
want?
on page 133 in the, it's on the back, compact Bible dictionary.
It was more to it. That's all I needed for the Greek. That's all I need. Greek speaking Jews.
Dispersion.
Yeah, or diaspora. If you got that.
Okay, diaspora.
Go ahead. Nice and strong.
Diaspora. It is on the Man's Bible Dictionary, page 133. Diaspora, that which is sown. The name applied to the Jews living outside of Palestine and maintaining their religious faith among the Gentiles.
The name that was applied to the Jews living outside of Palestine and keeping their faith among the Gentiles. This is the diaspora was talking about, right? Keep going.
God had warned the Jews through Moses that dispersion among other nations would be their lot if they departed from the Mosaic law.
The Most High had already told us if they didn't follow and keep the law, statutes, and commandments, what was going to happen to them? They're just going to be dispersed throughout the nations, right? Keep going.
These prophecies were largely fulfilled
You ain't got to tell us where, but go ahead.
in the two captivities.
Right?
But there were other captivities which helped scatter the Israelites.
Bottom line is we scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Keep going.
By the time of Christ, the diaspora must have been several times the population of Palestine.
What you got to know now is right now, between Tampa and Orlando, there are more so-called Puerto Rican people than there are in Puerto Rico. Right? So now it's talking about the diaspora of Jews that don't live there. It's saying by the time of Christ, there was more Jews living outside of Palestine than it was living inside. You with me, Magazine? Keep reading.
Paul invariably contacted the people in every city he visited.
Paul went to these people in every city he visited. So he's going to the diaspora, which is the Hellenes, which is the Grecians, which is the Greeks, which is the Jews that live outside and they're in that area of Greece. So that's what he's talking about when he's saying Greek. Now I want the brother to go back to the scripture what you had, Colossians 3:8 or 3:10. Now we know who the Jews are, we know who the Greeks are. Right? You clear on that, right? All right, go ahead. Verse 11.
Book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 11. Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free.
So the Greek, the Jew and the Greek is two different people. It's like I said. The Greek, the Jew is the people that we read first, the 2.5 tribes. The Greek is the Grecians or the people that was the other diaspora that living outside of Palestine. Circumcision and uncircumcision, that's a common thing. They talked about that being a fight where Paul was telling people if you're going to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, you don't have to be circumcised because none of us was circumcised on the 8th day, but because of Yahushua, we have an opportunity to come back into the fold. You know what I'm saying? And the circumcision of the heart is what was important. Then the people that was in Jerusalem that was circumcised, So when he started breaking down these different circumcision and uncircumcision, Greek or Jew, he's talking about all Israelites at the end of the day, regardless of, you know what I'm saying, the classes that he put them in. Those are just things that he put on them in order for you to understand who he's talking about. And the bottom line is for all 12 tribes to be able to come back into the fold. Right? Those who speak Hebrew, those who don't. A barbarian would be somebody who speaks a different language. Right? You understand? Michael? What was the last one? What was the last part after he said barbarian?
But Christ is all and in all.
But Christ is all and in all. Christ came for all 12 tribes, whether you was in the land or out the land, whether you was circumcised on the 8th day or not, whether you spoke Hebrew or you spoke another language. That's what it's talking about. All right? All right. Everybody understand? Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Breakdown right there was more saying, so the Jew or Greek and that was more of a status, what you saying?
What was that?
Was the Jew or Greek in that scripture right there, more referring to a social status, like the one that was in the truth, the one that wasn't?
Nah, it wasn't talking about that. It was talking about the ones that was in the land and the ones who wasn't. The ones that was raised in the truth and the ones who wasn't. Alright? Yeah, I don't know. Was you there for the whole breakdown now?
I was just trying to find like I was just wanting to know like what was the classification, like was it more of a classification for the,
Yeah, you can say that it was you can say it was a classification, but it wasn't based on social status. It was really based on if you came up in the truth, if your family practiced the Passover, or if you came up in America, you never went to a Passover, you wasn't circumcised on the 8th day, and you would be considered American. You wouldn't be considered a Jew because you wasn't born and came up in Palestine, and so on and so forth. You understand? All right. Any more questions in the room? All right. Any more questions on the conference line? Go ahead, brother.
Did you ever get that breakdown on Judah and Tamar?
I am with the captain tonight. I'll ask him if he's in the room or whatever the case may be. I might have it for you after class. All right.
Sir.
All right. No sweat. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Is knowing that sex is marriage, is sex the only thing that consider a man and a woman married?
All right. Let me be careful. I answer the question. What are you trying to say? Or why are you asking me that? Like, are you saying is it more to marriage than that? Okay, that's a different question. Is that the only thing that constitutes a marriage? Right? It's the only thing that constitutes a marriage, but it's not the only thing that makes a marriage. It's more to a marriage than this, that. But even in Esau, if you go have a wedding, right, and you get it. You go down to the courthouse, or whatever the case may be, you get your marriage certificates and all of that, right? And you and the woman never sleep together, you can go and get that annulled because you have not consummated the marriage. It's not official, even in Esau's court. But it's the same way with the Lord, right? That's what makes two people come. All right, when it talks about marriage, somebody give it to me in Genesis. For this cause, you can give it to me, who's that, Magazine? Yeah, you can give it to me if you got it. You know what I'm talking about? Is it what, like 3 and 18? Something like that. I'm just guessing. I ain't asking. Huh?
Genesis 3 and 18, sir?
I was just guessing where it was at. It should be somewhere around there.
No, sir.
Go ahead.
It's Genesis chapter 2, verse 24.
All right, I was way off. Grab the mic, I can go ahead. It's Genesis chapter 2 and verse 24. Everybody go there real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna get Officer Shakar to read it. Go ahead, Shakar.
Come. There's the book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 20.
Nice and strong, right?
Book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 22. And the rib which the Most High Power had taken from man, made he a woman and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man.
So here's the thing, right? When you talk about marriage and things like that, this is the first marriage inside, right? The Lord then raised up this woman for Adam out of his family. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who was like him and from a part of him to become his wife. So that is his rib. That's where we get the term rib from. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of Adam and Eve. Keep going.
Verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife,
and shall cleave unto his wife. Keep going.
and they shall be one flesh.
That's the important part right there. They shall be one flesh. Right? Now, spiritually, there's 100 million other things that go along with that, whether y'all compatible spiritually and all this other stuff that's going to sustain the marriage moving forward. But according to the Lord, they shall be one flesh. There's only one way for a man and a woman to become one flesh, and that ain't talking, and that ain't no piece of paper, or so on and so forth. You understand? Is it more to that? All right. You understand, or you need more?
You pretty much broke it down.
All right. I don't mind talking about marriage. We can do that all day.
SKYPE, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want marriage that's under the Bible dictionary?
You can do that. Brother gonna read the definition of marriage in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. So when you hear when you hear the word marriage in the Bible, right? The Bible Dictionary will tell you the context of what it's talking about. So go ahead.
The Zondervan Bible Dictionary, page 345. Marriage is an intimate, personal union to which a man and woman consent, consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse.
By what?
Sexual intercourse.
By what?
Sexual intercourse.
Now they just nasty. Why is that in there? Why? That's just nasty. That's marriage, y'all. The Christian church will have you looking at sex like it's a bad thing when it's something that's mandated by the Most High.
Right.
And that's the reason why they always keep everything secret and go do all kind of disgusting sex instead of wholesome and righteous sex the way that the Lord intended. Because they don't understand the Bible and what marriage really is about. All right? You got it? All right. Any other questions? Somebody give me Hebrews 5:12. Hey, it's shot. Shot. I found all the things. Yeah. Hey. I'm gonna get Shakar, you got it? Go ahead and read it, brother. You got the mic already. I'm gonna get the brother here to read it.
In the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, and verse 12. For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracle of God.
Here's the thing, right? We at a point right now where we supposed to be teaching our children, teaching our wives, teaching other brothers and sisters how we supposed to conduct ourselves and serve the Lord. The only problem with that is what we've been taught about the Lord was all wrong our entire life. And nobody ain't got the truth but the men in the truth. So now you're looking all over the world. Somebody give me toss to and fro with different doctrines. Somebody give me that. You're looking all over the world trying to find the truth, right? And you got a bunch of fake truth. And the scriptures said, they'll be saying, I am Christ, but they'll be, even the elect can be fooled if they ain't paying attention, right? Here it is where we supposed to be teaching our people, but we got to need that one teach us again. And what they need to teach us? Something real heavy. You know what I'm saying? Every breakdown of how many times, how many heavens it is, how many times I.S.U.P.K came, and all of this. Is that what we need to learn, Shakar?
The first principles of the oracle of God.
We need to learn the beginning, the basics. Everybody want to be so spiritual and deep. Now you go into these, some of the prophetess, such and such, Elizabeth, whatever her name is, the prophetess, whatever, Sabrina or whoever is going to be given and they'll come in there and they so deep. They so in touch with God and don't know nothing about the first principles of the oracles of God. Now, can you tell me what color was Jesus Christ? They don't even know that.
Right.
How you done had all that Bible? You so in depth. You speak to the Lord. You got a personal relationship with God. You talk to this nigga one-on-one every day. God talks directly to you, and you don't know what color his son was. You don't know what color his chosen people was. You don't know that he don't think that you should be able to sleep with another man if you married, or that you should be able to sleep with another man's woman. You don't even know this. You ain't got to keep the laws. You have a personal relationship with the Most High himself, and you saying you don't got to do nothing he say do. And that's what you teach. Here in the I.S.U.P.K, we here to clear up all of that foolishness. All of that stuff that got you where you don't understand which way to go, left, right, how you follow the Most High, whether or not this is what the Most High said, or that's just something. Brothers ask questions and sisters all the time about something that they heard all their life in the Christian church. And when you tell them, find me the scripture that say it, they can't find that even remotely close to what they asked, because it's not in there. First principles of the oracles of God. Keep going.
Okay. And all become such as have need of milk.
You have need of what?
Of milk.
Okay.
And not of strong meat.
You have need of milk and not of strong meat. You don't need nothing extra heavy. You don't need to know how many heavens it is and who dwells in each one of them. You don't need to know that. What you need to know is you cannot break the laws of God. What you need to know is the Lord chose a nation of people, and that's blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, and he gave them an opportunity to come back even though we broke his laws over and over again. What you need to know is Christ, mom and daddy had sex. Just like every other man and woman that's on the face of the earth, he was brought just like us. That's what you need to know. What you need to know is, give me some more that they teach you in the Christian church that, oh, the rapture. Just Google rapture. I ain't gonna even. Just look up the definition and then find it in the dictionary. The rapture. All of this stuff that we've been taught, you need to be taught all over again. That's what we're here to do, and that's what I do every Monday night on this class, all right? Anybody have any questions? Somebody got the other precept I asked for? No longer? Yeah, let's get that. If you're gonna be loud enough, you can. Yeah, young man, let him walk a little bit.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 14. That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
Here it is right here. Right? Now, no longer, this is what Paul's vision and journey was when he's talking to the brothers in Ephesus about Christ and about the Most High and all of this other stuff. That we be no more tossed to and fro, right? With every wind, what it say? With every wind of doctrine? Or what it say? Tossed to and fro with what?
And carried about with every wind of doctrine.
With everything we could think of. Before I came in the truth, my mama done raised me Christian. I found out there was some holes in it. I read up on some Greek mythology and all this. I'm like, wait a minute, this is the same stuff. I ain't dealing with this Bible no more. Let me see what Farrakhan talking about. All right, Farrakhan, he saying stuff out the Bible, and then I find out that Islam ain't what it is. But let me see what Haile Selassie and Sizzler and all those boys talking about. Because see, they follow the Bible and they smoke weed. That gotta be good right there. This is where I belong, right here. They follow the Bible and they smoke weed and they talk to Jamaican women and they eat jerk chicken. This is the place for me. This is what happened.
Like what you're saying so heavy, like that's all Christianity is. They give you everything that you like.
Whatever you want to do, there's some way of doctrines. One church you go to say, women can't wear makeup, women can't wear pants. Another one gonna say, yes they can. They can't wear earrings. Then another one gonna say, yes they can. Then another one gonna say, you can't get a divorce. The other one gonna be like, yes, if she's not happy, there's no reason for her to be unequally yoked. Sister, woman, y'all are loose, and she get loose too. Here's what I'm telling you. Here's what I'm saying. Everything you want to find, there's some doctrine that's going to tell you that. But in the truth, go ahead. You had something about?
No, I was gonna say, like my mother heard me arguing with my rib. She's like, you are equally yoked.
You should just leave it, right? You should just leave it. You are equally yoked. Man, please, man. Sister ever going to get fixed. If the brother don't stick it out, he don't. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. And scriptures say right in it, you know, that's how it could. She could be drawn to do the right thing as long as you're a good example or vice versa. Because if the sister's, you know, with a brother that's not in the truth, her being in the truth, Lord allow, could help that brother come into the truth at some point. All right. Toss to and fro with different doctrine. Keep reading from there. You lost it.
By the sleight of man and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
All right. So yeah, that's all it is. They just waiting to deceive you. That's the point. It ain't got nothing to do with God. It ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. It ain't got nothing to do with Christ. All they doing is lying and waiting to deceive you. All right. So, any other questions on that?
What's up, nigga?
All right, so what we're going to do is go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 17 real quick. One of the many things that we was talking, right, is that Jesus ain't have no daddy. Right? Somebody give me what's the Greek god that was born of a virgin? Anybody know off the top of their head?
Horus.
What's
No,
the
that's
Horus?
Greek. That's Apple.
They stole him from Horus and made him Greek.
He had what?
He was born of a virgin. It was Horus in Egypt, but they stole the same god and made him Greek.
Hercules?
No, it's
Jesus.
No.
Oh, it wasn't
Hercules.
Horus?
Somebody Google it. Put it in Google machine. Hey, Salakia, they got in the New York school, they got it now where you can just be like,
They got Alexa. you know the general we call it Apple forever. We got Alexa. That's next in Florida.
that's fire right now.
Hey, Alexa.
Look for it.
Bro, I ain't even gotta make y'all do no work. Y'all keep paying y'all tithes. Y'all keep paying y'all tithes and preach fund, nigga. We'll get Alexa in a minute.
It's like crazy. It's gonna be a second, dude. So anybody got the scripture I asked for? You got the scripture?
Yeah, it's Horus. That's what I said.
It's Horus?
Yeah.
Nah, Horus is African.
I
No,
thought
Horus was the son of the Virgin
That's what I
Isis.
said.
ISIS?
Yeah.
That's
Horus.
That's Egyptian. Yeah.
Yeah, you said Egyptian. I said
No.
Horus.
No, but what I'm saying, all Greek did was take the Egyptian gods and give them new names, and they turned them white and made them Greek. So he got a Greek name too. So what you probably want to Google is who was the Greek god that came from Horus or something like that. And
Salakia. Was it Alexander the Great?
I'm thinking of Hercules.
it wasn't Jesus.
It's Jesus.
Jesus. All right, so
I was thinking Jesus, but you know.
no, I thought it was another one that they gave him a name. Maybe I was wrong. Right?
Okay.
If somebody on the line knows, see it.
don't want to
But okay, so it's Horus. Horus came from Egypt. But I guess when it got to the Greeks, right? Then it became Jesus. I thought it was somebody else. I'll double check that because I could have pulled another. But here's the point: ain't nothing new under the sun, right? So this same doctrine that there was a God that came with no father, that came from a virgin, went all the way back to Egypt. It might have been a Babylonian God as well that I might be thinking of. But either way, they taught us this in the church, right? Now, we're going to go to the Bible and see if this is true, right? Somebody here got Matthew 1 and 17. All right, go ahead and read. This is where we're going to start at. Matter of fact, start at verse 1. Give me verse 1. Matthew 1 and 1.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
The book of what?
The generation. of Christ.
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, or Yahweh Shah, right? That's where we at. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ. Now, this is the first time you ever hear about Christ, ever in the Bible. The first thing it says, the book of the generations of Jesus Christ. Now, somebody tell me what a generation is.
It's pretty much like a bloodline.
Sister said bloodline. You want to say something else?
I was just gonna say the same thing.
What you was going to say, Nishad?
I was gonna say, generation, basically a line of generation of your
A line or a lineage, right? A bloodline, line or lineage. What you got, Isaac?
It says, bear with me. It says the son of Osiris and Isis is known as Horus, the child, Horpakaret, who was transformed into the Greek god Harpocrates.
I knew it was something. That's all they did. What you gotta understand about your oppressor is they don't make up their own stuff. They just take your stuff. He's not going to build his own house. He gonna kill you and go live in your house and say he you. That's what he gonna do. That's what they do. They are culture thieves. That's what they do. They didn't make up their own God. They didn't build this country. All of this stuff comes from black people. It's you know what I'm saying? So I can't pronounce it. Is it what?
Hippocrates.
Hippocrates. Hippocrates. I would love to get you to Google Hippocrates and see what they got on it, right? They said that's the Greek god that horse was transformed into. And then Jesus. But right now, the first time you ever hear Christ in the Bible, it says, the book of the generations of Jesus Christ, keep going.
The son of David.
The son of David.
The son of Abraham.
The son of Abraham. Why is it saying the son of David and the son of Abraham if it's talking about Christ? What is the point? The point is, this is Christ's claim to fame right here. If Christ ain't the son of David or the son of Abraham, then he is not who we waiting on. Right. He's not the Messiah prophesied of in the Old Testament. Now, how can you be the son of David and the son of Abraham and you ain't even got no daddy?
Right.
Don't make no sense. Somebody give me Psalms 89 real quick. Let me see where I will go. Verse 20. Psalms 89 and 20. Go ahead, pass it on. Y'all can just pass it. I don't know why people sit so far.
Can you got it?
Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 89 and verse 20. I have found David, my servant. With my holy oil have I anointed him.
This is the Lord speaking about David. I found David, my servant. Everybody on the conference line can hear him? All right, keep going.
Verse 21. With whom my hand shall be established. Mine arm also shall strengthen him.
All right, skip down to verse 34.
Book of Psalms, chapter 89 and verse 34. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. Once I have sworn by my holiness that I will not lie unto David. His seed shall endure forever.
His seed shall endure what?
Endure forever.
His seed shall endure forever. Somebody tell me what that means for your seed to endure forever.
The bloodline will continue.
You gotta raise your hand, sis.
Oh, Salakia.
Go ahead.
The bloodline will continue.
The bloodline, his bloodline will continue. So now, is David's bloodline in the earth right now?
Come on, sir.
Anybody on the conference line? Is David's bloodline in the earth right now? How do we know that? How do we know that? Go ahead.
Salakia.
Whoever said it second, who is that? Officer Mashamar? Go ahead, how do we know? Cause what?
The lady from tribe of Judah.
It was a trick question. You got the answer?
Come.
Go ahead.
Because the Most High promised David that his seed would.
Go ahead, Nishad.
We just read it.
We just read it. Read it again, Chicago.
Con, verse 36. His seed shall endure forever.
Go back up. Go back up to verse 29.
Con. Psalms chapter 89, verse 29. His seed also will I make to endure forever.
That's the same. That's twice in the same script, in the same chapter, right? What does it say after that?
And his throne as the days of heaven.
And his throne as the days of heaven. Where is David's throne? And who's sitting on it? Where is David's throne? During the time of Christ, you had the Pharisees sitting in Moses' seat, right? There was no king sitting on the throne because we were overtaken by the Greeks. You can look that up in the Maccabees. When Alexander the Greek came out the cave, he started putting hell on the Israelites. And all of the people he left, and Epiphanes and all these other people, they put hell on the Israelites and made it where you couldn't even be called a Jew no more. So what happened to David's throne? And why was YAHANNA so important? You got an answer? Go ahead.
David's throne was destroyed, taken over by the Greeks and the Romans.
You had some Roman sitting on David's throne, pretty much. The Israelites were not ruling in the earth anymore. Now, there was written of a Messiah that was going to come and sit in David's throne. Anybody know the precept? Anybody? Go ahead.
Isaiah 9:6.
What does that say? Oh, I wouldn't have went there. That's not the one I'm looking for. Somebody else give me one. Anybody? Somebody look up, yeah, go ahead.
Can you ask the question again? Maybe I misunderstood. You say, how do we know what?
How do we know that they were waiting on somebody to sit on David's throne, or that the Lord would send somebody to sit on David's throne? Anybody? Go ahead.
Is the one that says that that there shall come a rod out of
That's what I'm looking for. Where is that?
Isaiah chapter 11.
That's what I thought. Isaiah chapter 11. But it's not the first time it said. It said when it's later. You got it? So everybody go to Isaiah chapter 11. Here's the problem with what Christians don't know. They don't know the Old Testament because they don't read the Old Testament, because all the Old Testament is doing is telling them that they can't be disgusting and vile, and they can't eat whatever they want to eat, and sleep with whoever they want to sleep, and smoke and drink and snort whatever they want to snort. So they don't even look at it. But the grace of Jesus tells me that all things are done away with.
Amen.
So now, if you don't know the beginning of the story, how you just gonna come in the middle of the story and think you know what's going on? Why in the world is this starting off in Matthew chapter 1? The book of the generation of Yahushua, Mashiach, the son of David and the son of Abraham. Because to the Israelites, this is Romans chapter 9, were the promises and the adoptions and all of these things. And these promises is talking about one of them right here in Psalms 89. The promise he made to David. It's talking about other promises that he made to Abraham in the Old Testament. But if you had never read that, you don't know none of these promises. You got it up?
Come.
Let's go.
There's the book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people, to which shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
It's another one. It's another one where it's talking about, I will raise up David unto David, a righteous seed, or something like that. That's the one I really want. If I can- yeah, go ahead.
Isaiah 11 and 1.
I believe it. That we in Isaiah 11 right now, right?
Come.
No, that one speaks of Jesse. I use that one all the time. That's not the one I'm looking for. Because it will say, I raise up into David a righteous seed. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 5.
That's the one I'm looking for. Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 5. Somebody give me that real quick. Go ahead, Shakar, since you got the mic.
Come. There's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23 and verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days Judah shall be saved,
Right?
and Israel shall dwell safely.
So this is what you got to understand. This is what they waiting on. In his days, he's going to come back and put this whole thing back together again. It's also saying, no more shall David want a man to sit on his throne or something like that. No more shall they want. Somebody look that up. I got all these in my head. I just ain't quite as sharp as some of these brothers that remember things on the top. I remember what it's saying, but I don't know where it's saying. No more will David want a man or to sit on his throne. That should be somewhere around here too. Then we'll go back. All right. Is there any more to that where you was at?
Come.
Go ahead.
Come. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness.
That's right.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Most High liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries, whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land.
That's enough. You can stop that right there. Everybody understands. They was waiting for a certain thing. You got a scripture?
No, sir. I got that scripture that you just asked for.
What is it?
It's Jeremiah 33 and 17.
All right, let's go to Jeremiah 33, right? So all over the Old Testament, if you really know anything about prophecy, you know that they was waiting on somebody to come and do something, right? The whole point of Christ is that he was the person that fit the prophecy. If he don't fit the prophecy, if the glove don't fit, you gotta quit. If he don't fit the prophecy, then what? Why is he important? Right? Paul done raised up people from the dead and healed the sick and all this other stuff too, right? So what makes Christ more important than them if he don't fit the prophecy of being the Messiah? Gotta come from a certain bloodline. This is what the Most High is saying in Psalms 89. You said Psalms 33 and what, Uriah?
It's Jeremiah 33 and 17.
All right, let's go to Jeremiah 33 and 15. Nope, go to verse 14. Who got it? You got it, Shakar? You can let the shot read it.
Verse 13, 14.
Verse 14.
Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 14. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will perform that good thing which I have promised unto the house of Israel and to the house of Judah.
Look at this. The Lord promised something to the house of Israel and it promised something to the house of Judah, right? Behold, the day's going to come where I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Keep going.
Come. In those, verse 15, in those days, and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David.
Now, you got Old Testament only Israelites who who said David's gonna be the king, David's coming back, David's gonna rule in the earth. This right here is a cut to that. Keep going.
And he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. In those days shall Judah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely. And this is the name wherewith she shall be called, the Lord our righteousness.
Yep, keep going.
For thus saith the Most High, David shall never want a man.
A woman.
A man.
All right, don't get caught up in the she shall be called. Keep going.
David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel.
This is what it's saying right here. David's throne is going to last forever. The same thing is saying in Psalm 89. And there's going to come a time where the Lord is going to bring back David's lineage to rule on the earth again. That's the whole point. Right? Everybody got that? Do I got to keep going in the Old Testament because they all over the place? We'll never even get to the New Testament. Now, let's go back to Matthew chapter 1. Who was reading that? Matthew chapter 1 and verse 1. Who was reading that? All right, read it one more time. Matthew 1 and 1. If you read Psalm 89, it'll talk about a lot of the things that he promised David. Also, it'll cut that, I think it's Jeconiah or whatever, they talk about the bloodline of Christ, saying that, because of one of the bloodlines, he couldn't have been the king because the Lord took that out of it and cut that too in that same chapter. All right? Keep going.
Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham.
All right? So now, this is the book of the generations of Jesus Christ, or YAHANNA, the son of David and the son of Abraham. Now, this is going to go all the way through, right? So where does this start? This is Christ's generation. This is his stop. This is where he come from. Where does it start? Read verse 2.
Verse 2. Abraham begat Isaac.
Keep going.
And Isaac begat Jacob.
Uh-huh.
And Jacob begat Judah and his brethren. And Judah begat Pharaoh.
All right, so we ain't got to go into all of that. You see it's only men being named, right? Only men. Give me verse 14.
Verse 14. And Azor begot Zadok. And Zadok begot Akim. And Akim begot
Eliud, right? Just go ahead to verse 17 for the second time.
Now,
hold on, listen. Think about this for a second. If Joseph is not the baby's daddy, how is this right here what we're about to believe, what we're about to read, possible? Go ahead and read it from verse 17.
Verse
Nice and
17.
strong.
So all the generations of Abraham to David are 14 generations.
So this is connecting Abraham to David, and it's 14 generations. Keep going.
And from David until the carrying away into Babylon are 14 generations.
So from the time of David until we got carried away into Babylon, it's 14 men, son, right? 14 generations. Keep going.
And from the carrying away into Babylon unto Christ are 14 generations.
And from the carrying away into Babylon unto Christ are 14 generations. If none of these dudes ain't no kin of Christ, how is this possible? Somebody explain it to me. Moses, you went to theologian school, right? Hold on, let me get my man Moses. How is this possible? According to theologian school. Verse 17. Don't even do it, Moses. I'm just messing with you. Moses gonna make it down for us too. He over there cussing me out Creole.
I know. That's why I said it.
You know the answer?
No.
Alright. There's no way this is possible. It's telling you from Abraham to Joseph. This is why it's saying the generations of Christ. All of these is the lineage, not of Joseph, not of Mary, of Christ.
Right.
And let's I think we skipped something going to 17. I know why I wanted him to read it. Give me when I said go to 15, he read that. Go to verse 16.
Verse 16. And Jacob begot Joseph.
So Matthias begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Joseph. Who is Joseph?
The husband of Mary.
The husband of Mary. Keep going.
Of whom was born Jesus.
So who is it talking about when it says that? The husband of Mary, of whom was born Christ. Go ahead.
It's talking about Joseph. Man.
It's talking about Joseph. Joseph is in the generations of Jesus Christ. He right there. This is the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, and Joseph is in it. All right. All right. Now, remember we was talking about the David, right? The promises that the Lord made to David in Psalm 89 and 2 Kings, I believe it's chapter 8, different things like that, right? Let's go to Luke chapter 2 and verse 4 real quick. Luke chapter 2, verse 4. Go ahead.
The book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 4. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife.
So now, they engage. Keep going.
Being great with child. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished, that she should be delivered.
1 second. It didn't say nothing about the house of David right there? Or did you already read it and I missed it? That was verse 4? Read it again. Let me get it. Luke chapter 2 and verse 4.
And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David.
Because Joseph was what?
Of the house and lineage of David.
Why is this in the Bible? Why is this even important? Who cares whether Joseph was of the house and the lineage of David? Nobody cares. You care? You care? I don't care. He ain't Jesus' daddy no way, right? Why is it important that he's of the house and lineage of David? Somebody, anybody. Why is that in the Bible? Go ahead.
Because he's Jesus' father.
Because he's Christ's father. Right. And in order for Christ to be who he was supposed to be, he would have to come from that lineage. It's important. Who is your daddy, boy? Better be the right person. That's all I'm going to tell you. Give me Luke 1 and 27. Let's go back one child. Luke 1 and 27. Somebody. He got it behind you. You got a question, huh?
I bet you want to read.
You can go ahead and read it. Go ahead. Go ahead and read it. Y'all have to bear with my people on this line, man. They ain't used to sit around. I usually be getting on people about reading. So go ahead, Triple Microsoft.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 27. To a virgin as born to a man whose name was Joseph.
Hold on. Stop right there. Wait. So read verse 26.
Verse 26. And in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth,
is that in the Bible? What is the point? Why is that there? Anybody? Can somebody tell me why it's there? Sis, why is it there? Why is it there?
It's like you, sir. I didn't read the verse.
Give me the same answer you gave me last time.
Oh, because it's just read it.
Because it's Jesus' Father. That's why. That's why it's there. Of the house of David. Of the house, you don't believe me, do you? Who does the Bible say Christ's Father is? John chapter 1 and 45, right? Let's go. John chapter 1 and 45. I'm going to take a whole different approach. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and pass it to him. John chapter 1 and 45. Let's get it.
This is the book of John, chapter 1, verse 45. Philip findeth Nathanael, and saith unto him, We have found him, of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Yahushua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph.
The son of nobody.
The son of Joseph.
The son of God.
The son of Joseph.
The Bible says this is the son of Joseph. What's going on with it? What's going on in the church, man? Somebody gotta help me out with this. Does this say right there in the Bible that the people that lived during the time of Christ called him, read what it said again? We have found him.
Of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write.
We found a man from the prophecies, right? What's his name?
Yahushua of Nazareth.
Yahushua of Nazareth.
The son of Joseph.
The son of Joseph. Really? Give me Hebrews 2 and 14. No, matter of fact, John 6 and 42. Let's get that real quick. I think I'm missing a precept too. John 6 and 42. You got it? Okay. Go ahead.
John chapter 6, verse 42. And they said, Is not this Jesus, the son of Joseph?
The son of who?
The son of Joseph.
Wait a minute now. This can't be in the Bible. This can't be in the Bible. Y'all making that up. Did we just read that somewhere else? So it's in there more than once. Anybody preacher ever showed them this? Everybody knew who Christ's father was. Everybody knew it. Keep going.
Oh God. Whose father and mother we know.
See? You see? We know this man, daddy. Bro. What are y'all talking about? The son, we know his father and his mama. What are they talking about? All right, now there's something spiritual going on. It is. I wouldn't leave y'all thinking that. You feel me? So let's go to Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 14 so we can get it real quick. Whoever got it. Go ahead.
Say 2 and 14, right?
2 and 14, yeah, let's get it.
Hebrews chapter 2, verse 14. For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same.
What? As much as the children are themselves offered, what does that read again?
CANT. Hebrews chapter 2, verse 14. For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same.
What does this mean? Anybody? Explain it to me. Hold on, Father, and I know you know. Anybody on the line? Any young man? Go ahead, Moses.
Jesus Christ come just like flesh and blood, like he said in the Bible.
Just like it said in the Bible, just like everybody else, right?
Yes, sir.
Give me wisdom of Solomon. Give me wisdom of Solomon 75. I ain't gonna stick on the virgin birth part of it too much. I just want to prove what the Bible say about who Christ was and the point. Wisdom of Solomon 75. Let's go ahead and cut that real quick. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 5. For there is no king that had any other
Go
beginning.
Go up 1 or 2. Where you think you should go? 1 or 2.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1. I myself am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first.
Does it say fashioned in my mother's womb or something like that? Or like, right, give me the one right above it. Like 4.
That was verse 1.
Okay, go ahead, verse 1.
Okay, verse 1 again. I myself am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. Verse 2. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man.
Of the seed of what?
And the blood.
Of the seed of what?
The seed of man.
It's in the Bible too. So all is in the Bible. Of the seed of man. Give me verse 5 real quick. Let's just get right there. Solomon is saying, I came of the seed of man, right? What does it say in verse 5?
But there is no king that had any other beginning of birth.
There is no king that had any other beginning of what?
Of birth.
Of birth. Who is your king? Who is your king? Yahawashi. So how in the world he come any other different from any other man when it says right here in the Bible, there's no king that came any other way but being of the seed of man.
Right.
That's what it said in the Bible. Christ ain't had no daddy. Give me Luke chapter 2 and verse 48. We got to take Joseph on Maury. We got to take Joseph on Maury.
I'm telling you.
Let's say if Joseph sitting on Maury right now. You know what I'm saying?
DNA test right here.
I ain't touched Mary. She slept with everybody. What did he say on that? My cousin said he slept with you. And Mary said, I'm 1,000% sure. Go ahead, Go ahead. Somebody got it. Luke chapter 2 and verse 48. Go ahead.
Luke chapter 2, verse 48.
Start at verse 47. Go ahead, nigga. Get that on mic, yo.
47 I want.
Yeah, start at verse 47.
The book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 47. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him.
And who said unto him?
His mother said unto him.
And his mama. This is what Christ's mama said to him. Go ahead.
Come on. Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing.
Who sought them?
Thy father and I.
Thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. This is what his mama said now. Read it again. From the top.
Come. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing.
Me and your daddy been looking for you. This is what Mary said out of her own mouth. She's 1,000% sure that Joseph is the daddy. So why everybody else in the world don't know? Philip knew it, right? All the people that was around at that time. The Bible, Luke is talking about Joseph being from the house of David. Matthew is saying from 14 generations, from Abraham to David, and then from 14 more generations to the carrying away of Babylon, and 14 more generations unto 13 more to Joseph and 14 to Christ. What's the problem? Why don't we know when everybody else seemed to have known during that time? It's because we've been lied to, that's why. It's because we've been lied to and given hypocrisy, whoever this is that I sent me, hypocrisies. Yeah. Send that to somebody so unless you can read it. Hypocrisy, we'll get him in a little bit. Right? Keep reading, huh? Keep reading.
Come. Verse 49. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Wished ye not I must be about my father's business?
Do you not know that I gotta be about my father's business now? Was he talking about Joseph?